It's lines. I've never seen lines before. People are telling me it's taken, 45 minutes to an hour to vote. It took me an hour and 2 minutes to vote at 10:30.
Wow.
I went to my polling place at 7 o'clock, like I normally do, and you can generally walk in. The parking lot was packed, and the lines were, all around the building. So I actually went and did some other polls and came back at 10:30, just like a vote, and I still waited an hour.
Oh my goodness!
It's a great sign.
Yeah, our Jason's been out taking pictures, and there's lines everywhere, just going around buildings and stuff like that. So. So the questions I had in the email are basically what I'm going to cover, and I've been asking all the candidates the same things basically. So I wonder your general thoughts on the whole election season as it's been going.
Well, I'm glad it's over. It's, Pennsylvania was thought to be important 4 years ago, but since no Republican had won it since 1988, there was some skepticism, but now we know how important Pennsylvania is. It may come down to, it looks like it's going to come down to whoever wins Pennsylvania is going to be our next president. So having all that attention is both a good and bad thing. Having a congressional delegation that's divided in half creates a lot more interest too. But look, all in all, I think it's a good thing for democracy for us to have vigorous debates. I don't like all the negativity, and I think if you believe in something, you ought to be able to stand up for that and what you believe in without tearing down your opponent.
Okay, great. I tried to turn off everything so that I wouldn't get alerts in the middle of all this, but and then that kind of leads to the process. The process has been a little interesting this time around, vote by mail for the first time, and you were in the legislature when that was passed and everything. So what are your thoughts about the process, the vote by mail, and how it's worked so far?
Well, anything that we can do to create more voter participation, higher turnout is a good thing. And so we passed a bill before the pandemic that was no excuse absentee voting. It turned into vote by mail, and we'll see how it turns out. But at the end of the day, I think we're going to have increased voter turnout, and that's a good thing. Always a good thing.
Okay. So now some general thoughts on your race, specifically in the 87th there. So how's that been, and what have people been talking to you about?
Yeah, I knocked on 10,501 doors. I called 15,000 voters over the course of the summer, and up until even yesterday, I was out doing doors. The feedback was good. I think people want more civility. They want a united country. They have strong opinions in either direction for either candidate for president, which was sometimes, that polarization is a bad thing sometimes. But in the end of the day, I suspect that the people of the 87th district will unite. And starting tomorrow morning, we'll go back living our lives as all Americans, all on the same team, all Pennsylvanians. And that's what's beautiful about American democracy. We can. I watched the end of the football game last night, the Tampa against the New York Giants, and at the end of the game, they're all hugging at midfield. I mean, I'd like to see more of that in politics. And physically, those guys are trying to beat each other up in a football game, and yet they can, at the end of the game, shake hands and hugs. Genuinely, you can't participate in a football game without the other team. Well, democracy only works if you have two vibrant parties and two vibrant opinions. This is that's nothing new here. So nothing new for me.
Right. So now today you're out checking out the different precincts in your district, and any other plans for this evening and into the next couple of days as the votes are counted?
Well, yeah, I'll be in Allenbury at Allenbury Resort tonight for the Republican Party of Cumberland County's Victory Party. And then I'll be in Harrisburg at the House Republican Campaign Committee, where I serve as chairman, watching 167 other races. So
oh my goodness.
My race is only one of the many that I'll be watching tonight that we've been investing our time and talent and treasure in over the last 2 years. So it'll be certainly is an exciting night and maybe exciting week. We may not have all the results till the end of the week.
Okay. And then just last thing, I wanted to give you any chance to offer any thoughts that we might not have covered that you wanted to make sure to get out there.
Yeah, I think that, you know, America is great because we have this idea of a bloodless revolution where we can change parties and we can have opposite opinions. But I think that it's important for democracy for us to have civility, and we need to respect each other. And yeah, I read an article in the Wall Street Journal this morning that said, opinion piece, the guy said, if you believe you're the person who votes for the other guy, that there's something wrong with them, or they should be punished, then maybe you don't understand how democracy works. So I will defend the right for someone to support a different candidate than me or than who I'm supporting anytime, because at the end of the day, this is just one election, but we've got a country to protect. And that's really important to all of us. So, or to me, that we respect each other.
Great. So if you have anything you need to let me know, if you have anything you want to say this evening, you have my email. You can send anything over that you'd want. We're going to be doing our stories based on these conversations that I've had with the candidates, and then whatever we have at the end of the night. And we're going to make sure people understand that it's as of now at the end of the night,
Yeah.
you know, and all that.
Yeah.
Because Cumberland County won't be counting the mail-ins till tomorrow. So,
yeah. Can you imagine like going to a football game and at the end of the game, they say, well, we'll tell you the results tomorrow. I mean, it's inexplicable to me why we're not counting votes tonight. I don't get it.
Yeah, and that's a both sides of the aisle thing. I've saw, tweets from Democrats and statements from Republicans too on that it just doesn't make sense. But it's the hand we're dealt, right? So
yeah. Well, I appreciate what you guys are doing, and thank you for covering the elections, and we'll be in touch. I'll be around. So
okay. Yeah, if you want to if you have any thoughts as it's going on, just send them over and we'll see what we can do. So all right, thank you.
Tammy. Take care.
Bye.